Hello, everyone, and welcome back to It All Starts With a Wish podcast. My name is Rachel.
And I'm Mark. I made Kahlua pork sliders this week.
You did.
And
I didn't try them.
No, you didn't, and I'm still salty about it. It was a labor of love. So if you're not aware, Kahlua pork sliders is a option that you can get at the Hawaii booth at the Food and Wine Festival in Epcot during that festival.
And we've had them.
And it's one of my favorite things to get at the Food and Wine Festival. They're just delicious. And in the most recent DVC Files magazine that we get, thanks to being Disney Vacation Club members, we got a cool quarterly magazine. And they always have a recipe in it. And this time, the recipe was the Kahlua pork sliders. And I said to myself, I'm going to make those this time. And
especially because it was one of your favorite
all the
ones.
Stuff, and I made it.
You had to be like a chef.
And it was delicious.
What did your dad What? Can I speak?
No, clearly not.
What did your dad end up thinking of them?
I think he liked them. My mother really liked them.
Oh,
my niece also had it and loved it.
Loved it.
Just this one, never tried it.
I wasn't feeling good this week. I just didn't really want something spicy and new and...
Yep, whatever.
Whatever.
I did all that hard work and you didn't even try them. And you're the only other person that's actually had them. So you're the only other person that I have to be like, doesn't this taste like them? Is this not delicious?
I haven't had it in a long time, though. I need to have them, back to back. So we need to, go to Food and Wine and then come back from our vacation and then have it again.
Whatever.
You know?
It was delicious. It was not
everything smelled wonderful.
It was not overly difficult to make.
You made a chutney.
It was just time consuming. The chutney, yes, I made a chutney for the first time.
That seems pretty fancy.
Didn't even know what a chutney was, but I made a pineapple chutney. It was really good, though. It just took 2 hours to make. And then the pork, put it in the slow cooker, put it in the crock pot for really 10 hours. But oh my gosh. Whew. So good.
No, it was really good.
Oh, the pork was delicious and just pulled right apart.
Kumawana. Oh. That is good pork.
Or whatever noise Pua makes. I mean, that was off. That sounded more like a dog. But
they're calling me, so I gotta... Bye!
Can you tell that our son watched that over and over
so many
and again?
Times.
Anyways, my Kahlua pork sliders were delicious, and Rachel never tried them, so there's that.
Sorry.
On the topic of food, I do have another Thanksgiving dad joke, because you said I couldn't do it, so guess what? I'm going to do it every week until Thanksgiving, because I can. Are you ready?
Okay.
What do you call a turkey the day after Thanksgiving?
I don't know.
Lucky.
Oh. I was going to say leftover. I don't know.
Lucky. Yes, because it's
that
still alive.
Good. Yeah.
Anyways.
Oh, my.
You
stop mansplaining the jokes to me because I understand them. They're just not hysterical.
A very lucky person if you get to stay at Disney's Riviera Resort in Walt Disney World. And today... something we haven't done in a while. So we're bringing it back. A resort review.
Mm-hmm. We really haven't done it in a while.
No, it's been a while since we've done a resort review.
Yeah.
We were looking back at some of the other resort reviews we did, and we realized we had not done one for the Riviera yet. And I was shocked.
Yeah.
Shook.
No, me too.
Shook to my core. Not really.
I really was surprised. I really did think it being, one of our top resorts that we would have talked about it, but...
Well, let's not give it away.
We didn't.
Let's go through the ranking system and
see how it ranks. I wouldn't say it's my favorite.
I'd say it's one of mine.
It's just a top,
It's one of my favorites, for sure.
One of, yeah.
So if you do not remember, or you have not listened to a resort review yet, we base our resort reviews, and I had to go back and actually look at this because I had forgotten. It's been so long.
What he means is I told him what it was, because I remembered. I just called you out. You're welcome.
Whatever, woman. We base our resort reviews on 5 different categories. 1, transportation and location.
Yep.
2, theming. 3, rooms. 4, food options. And 5, pool and amenities. We judge all of these things on a 1 to 5 scale. 1, do not suggest. 5, the best of the best. We then add up that total and divide by 5 to give us our average score. Yep. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's dive in. So what is Disney's Riviera Resort?
Disney's Riviera Resort is a DVC only resort, similar to Old Key West, though if you are not Disney Vacation Club members, you can still book there, but it is going to cost you a pretty penny.
Get ready to pay a lot.
This resort is very high end.
It's luxurious.
Yeah.
It's themed after Walt Disney's trips to the French and Italian Riviera. Mm-hmm. So it has, as the name implies, the Riviera theme, like the Mediterranean coast. And it's just very elegant. Yes, and has influences of French and Italian culture throughout. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it is. It's very high-end, elegant.
But I would say it's more modern. Like, I feel like when people think of, like, elegance, they think of, like, Grand Floridian. But that's, like, old, that Victorian elegance. This is much more modern. So don't think of even, like, old French-Italian. Think of, like, a modern, and, like, you know what I mean? A more traditional, more clean lines, kind of simple. It's not really flashy in your face, but it's still elegant. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I don't know if they know what you mean. I know what you mean. But I don't know if they know what you mean.
Maybe. I don't know. But yes, I just think it's a little more modern. It's a modern elegance more than it is like a Grand Floridian.
Yeah, it's not a Gilded Age, like Victorian era elegance. It's a like Europe. Which Grand Floridian can give off more of like a Victorian.
I'm saying, like, you think like European, like, don't think of that. Think of more like the more modern one. Yeah, that's all.
So our first category would be transportation / location. What would we give it on a scale of 1 to 5 for transportation and location? And then explain, which you always have a problem with. I do,
because that's just a feeling that I have. I just go with what I'm feeling. I am going to give it, okay, so my first instinct is to say 4, but then I want to say 3.5.
Okay, so which one do you want it to be?
I don't know. 3.5. We'll just shoot the middle.
Okay, why?
Higher than a 3 because it has a Skyliner and the bus systems. However, on the Skyliner, I feel like it's the furthest away. So I feel like it's kind of a long trip on the Skyliner. Though I love the Skyliner. And you have to go to the hub. That's kind of unfortunate. Like, if you're at Caribbean Beach, you don't really have to, like, you start at the hub and just take one line. Like, you have to get off.
If you go in the Hollywood Studios, not if you're going to Epcot.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, like, there is, like, because it's so far away on the Skyliner, it's the last, it's out on its own little island.
So to better explain this to folks, the Skyliner is an alternative option for travel in Walt Disney World. It is a gondola system that's up in the sky, so you travel in one of those.
I like how you're reaching to the sky right now.
Because they can see me, because this is a podcast.
Yeah.
It's basically like those ski lifts, but like the nice ones that are enclosed, not the ones where your legs are hanging free.
Yeah. Oh my God, imagine.
That'd be kind of cool. They used to have one of those in Magic Kingdom as a ride, through Fantasyland.
Like in Canterbury Lake Park? Like one of those ones.
They used to have one of those across Fantasyland. It's really cool, the pictures. Like, it would go over, like, Peter Pan and Small World, and would go...
That would be kind of fun. They should bring that back.
I don't think they're going to. Well. But anyways. It will get you between several hotels, the Riviera being one of them, but primarily Caribbean Beach, the Riviera, and Pop Century and Art of Animation. From the Riviera, you can get on the Skyliner in one of 2 directions. Either you can get on it directly to go to Epcot, don't have to go to the hub center that's at Caribbean Beach, or if you want to go to Hollywood Studios, you have to ride it to the hub at Caribbean Beach, get off, and then get on another gondola to go to Hollywood Studios. It can be time-consuming. It is a fun way to travel.
Yeah.
But
wait, can I add to my thing? And the only other like thing besides like maybe it's time consuming would be like at the end of the night, if you were in Epcot, that line can get really long if you are going to stay or leave right after the fireworks. That it is continuously going, so the wait isn't going to be like you're waiting 15 to 20 minutes for each bus to show up or anything like that. But because that's like literally that's not literally, it is the only.
Well, you can take a bus. They do run buses.
No, I'm saying from Epcot.
They do run buses.
Well, why would you do that when it's right there next to the fireworks in the country?
Some people don't like the Skyliner system, so they do have options.
Well, I'm not walking all the way back through Epcot. Personally.
They don't come as frequently, but
okay. Well, personally, I'm not walking all the way back through Epcot because I don't mind a gondola. I understand that people will do that and they will walk back through Epcot and go all the way to the front to the buses. That would be worse, in my opinion. And if you really didn't like gondolas, it would probably be...
Regardless.
Anyway, 3.5.
So I will agree with Rachel and say 3.52.
Wow.
I do think that this is a very centrally located hotel, and it's not a horribly long bus ride.
I didn't talk
anywhere.
about like its location.
But to Magic Kingdom, to Disney Springs, and to Animal Kingdom, it is a relatively short bus ride, all things considered. Not super short, but it is pretty centrally located.
Like they're all the same length, kind of.
And of the hotels that we've stayed at, I think it's actually one of the closer ones to Disney Springs. I felt like it was easier to get there on the bus than it is from other hotels. With the Skyliner, though, it can be great in some circumstances. It can be difficult in other circumstances. One thing I have noticed while staying at this hotel is when you're trying to get to Epcot, because the gondola is leaving from the hub, you have to wait until there is an empty gondola on the way to Epcot in order for you to get on.
So, like, there's people coming from the, like, also going to Epcot from Caribbean Beach.
Right.
That are going to stop and pick you up.
All of those are full, and so you can't get onto one. So you have
Yeah.
to wait, and you can wait there for a good while before you get an empty one. We actually did.
I feel like I remember that. It was kind of hot when we were there, and I remember standing in the sun because on the side for the Epcot when we were waiting was like not under the cover that they have there, and it was kind of like expected to be a short line, but then I feel like we were waiting like a really long time that morning when we were going because everybody else is also going. So there can be a little bit of a backup, like anything in transportation. I do love the Skyliner, but it has its pros and cons. That's all.
So I would say, it's a little bit above middle of the road for me when it comes to transportation.
Just because you have options.
I can't walk into a park like I can at other hotels.
Right.
So 3.5 I think is appropriate. Theming.
I like this theming. I think I liked it more than I thought I was going to, because from the front or like during the day, it really doesn't. It is beautiful. It's a beautiful structure and there's a lot of detail to it, but it does just kind of look like a gray resort. You know what I mean? But once you get closer to it, then those details like start coming out, but it's not really like in your face. But at night, wow. But once you get up to it, even during the day, it does look like it was dropped from the middle of Europe. Like the detailing and like the molding and like all of that stuff. It's grandeur. So I think it's captivating in that way. So I like the theming, and I like that it's subtle in a way. It's like, it's not, I don't really like that Victorian like kind of style personally. So I like that it's like a modern elegance inside. But yeah, what do you think?
What are you rating it first?
I don't know. Can we just talk about it first?
The whole point is to give it a score.
I know, but I want to talk it out first before I give it a score. All right. Ugh, this is hard. Can we talk it out first? Can I give 2 decimal points?
No.
Oh.
I already give you 1 decimal point.
3.75. I'm just going to go 3.5 again then.
Really?
Well, I was going to say 4.
So I'm
But
going to give
it's just
it...
not really like, there's not really a big flair of Disney.
I'll give it 4.5. Yeah, I think that
Whoa.
it's that good. I think that this is, in some ways, subtle Disney, but where Disney is done, it's done very well. I think
Yeah.
that the lobby is not an overly like grand lobby, but
No,
I
it's
think
actually
it's
pretty
just
small.
simple elegance in that lobby. The beautiful mosaic that is in the archway between when you're heading towards the Skyliner system. Two beautiful mosaics with fountains in them. The general like feel when you walk out of the hotel, you feel like you're almost on the Mediterranean and on a Riviera with like the bocce ball courts and like the landscaping that's there. And man, oh man, this hotel at night, the lighting that they have outside and inside the hotel at night is really magical. And like those marquees on top, just the two simple RR, Riviera Resort, just the way that those light up. It's like, I don't know, all of a sudden I get like flourishes of, you know that music from Ratatouille, the do 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 do.
Yep, we all know
like
it.
That magical like French like I feel like I'm walking in Paris almost kind of like thing. I get that every time, and I think that it's subtle Disney. The photographs from the Disney family vacations in the Riviera that are on the walls, the movie posters that are in French and Italian that are on the walls. Some of the artwork in this hotel is gorgeous when you walk down the halls. Each one of those art pieces is a specialty art piece made special for that hotel. And some of the images of like the different castles and different scenes from the movies, the artwork is beautiful. So no, it's not like you're walking into a Yellowstone or a Yosemite, Grand Lodge. No, it's not like you're in your face Disney. You're not walking into the Art of Animation and getting smacked in the face with Disney stuff. But it's the simple elegance that this hotel brings, and I think just the beauty in that. 4.5 all day in my book.
Wow. I thought you would have went for 4. The 0.5 threw me.
You know what the 0.5 was for? It's for that hotel at night.
A whole half a point.
It is
for just at night.
That beautiful at night that I was like, you know what? No, just giving it a 4 is not enough.
Yeah, and you know what? I definitely think it was, it's still a newer hotel. It's still like the newest one now that's, well, it's not now since the Polynesian is getting that new tower. But I just feel like the outside is really nice. I just felt like where all the courtyards and like pool stuff was, I just felt very empty. And I don't know if that's because vegetation is just not really grown in a lot, but it's just kind of like singular palm trees and just like, so it matches. I'm not saying it doesn't match. I'm just saying it felt very open outside, and I wanted a little more fill,
That's clutter.
That's not clutter. It was a little bare.
No, it's simple elegance, not clutter.
Whatever.
Rooms.
So we got a treat in this room when we went, because we were in a 1-bedroom.
We were.
Just the two of us. Definitely felt like royalty.
We can make
it definitely felt really bougie.
The two of us.
We have a room tour video.
We do have a room tour video. Maybe if we actually post something on social media, you can actually post it.
Oh my god. Shots fired. I've been a little busy. I'm sorry.
Right across the bow. No.
My gosh. All right. Well, anyway, it's just you talking, so it's more embarrassing for you. No, it was big for the two of us. So we didn't use all of the amenities, and we were only there, how many days was it?
2 nights, I think.
Yeah, it was a short trip because that's when we were living down in Florida. So we really only did a resort stay, which is painful, which is a story for another time, because we walked by the parks and couldn't go in. Because we could have gone in. We could have bought tickets, but we didn't. And it was traumatizing for me to do that. But we spent a lot of time in the room, mostly like in the resort and stuff. But we didn't use a lot of the amenities that it has. So because it's a 1-bedroom, it had that full kitchen, a dining table, a Murphy pull-down bed, a separate bedroom, a full bathroom with a huge tub, a walk-in shower with like that rainfall head thing. Very luxurious. The theming was really cool in it. The pictures were really, but everything was very clean, elegant. Like I said, there's really cool artwork in there. Too big for 2 people. I mean, unless that was the only thing that was available for us, so that's why we took it.
Yeah.
But really spread out, really nice. So if you did, have more people than that, I feel like it would have been plenty of room.
Mm-hmm.
And we were on the ground floor, which was kind of nice.
With a Skyliner view.
Yeah. So when we walked out onto the patio, we could literally just walk out the patio door, not even the actual like main door of the room to the Skyliner. We could leave the back way. But yeah, so let me see. I'm going to give it a 4.
I'm going to give it a 5. I think that these rooms
You're just
are
one-upping me tonight.
The best of the best. It was spacious. It was luxurious. It was everything that you would want.
I mean, the toilet paper had RR
more
on it.
Yes,
They
literally.
imprinted they used a little stamp.
Everything and anything that you would ever want in a hotel room, especially if you're traveling with a family. Everything was so easily accessible, easy to move around, plenty of space to spread out. Bear in mind, we had a 1-bedroom, but they also have your standard DVC. They have 2-bedroom, 3 bedrooms, deluxe studios, and an interesting facet in this hotel, the tower rooms.
Yes, the smaller
tower rooms,
which is what we should have
very cheap while they weren't available.
I know, but
they're very cheap on points, and they're very small.
Yeah.
It literally is just a very, very little room with a little bathroom off of it. It has a pull-down Murphy bed style bed. That's the only bed in the room. It's intended for, a couple maybe going on a quick vacation together. Don't want to spend a lot of points on a room. It is a great option, though, a great point-saving option if you're a couple and you want to go on a quick trip without your kids or something like that. Like, these rooms are perfect for that.
Yeah.
But I think that these rooms were fantastic, clean, new,
which I think is kind of cool to mention because
5 out of 5.
Wow. Really going for it there. I think it's an interesting point that you mentioned, though, for couples. I do think there's a lot of people that go to Disney for their honeymoons. We know this. Mostly because if you go, you can just see all the little bride and groom ears everywhere. I think that this resort makes an excellent honeymoon resort for couples. One, because if you're DVC, it's little points for those 2 tower rooms, so you can go for longer if it's only 2 people. But if you wanted to get a suite, you absolutely could. But I think it's
Is this
still...
Lord of the Rings? You said 2 tower rooms instead of just tower rooms.
Oh.
Anyways, continue.
Any Lord of the Rings fans out there, you lost my train of thought now because you interrupted me.
You were talking about honeymooners.
Okay. I think this is a great resort for families. But I also think that it's upscale enough where I feel like there's not many families. At least when we went, I feel like it's not. There's not kids running around everywhere. You know what I mean?
To a certain extent.
To a certain extent, but I feel like the pool we were in, because it wasn't there was a separate pool with the kid area thing. It didn't feel crowded. You know what I mean? So it felt like you could have a little more quiet time. I know you can anyway at deluxe resorts because that's just what they do. But I feel like it's a good honeymoon resort. That's all.
Sure. Okay. I don't disagree with that. Food.
This has my favorite coffee.
3 primary food options at this hotel. Primo Piatto, which is a quick service.
A rate first?
which is a quick service restaurant, counter service. You can mobile order, do all that stuff from there. They have, I think, really good food. We'll get there in a second. There is a small cafe called Le Petit Café, Rachel's favorite coffee shop in all of Walt Disney World. And then there is the character dining establishment at the very top of the Riviera called Topolino's Terrace. Mm-hmm. Topolino is the name for Mickey Mouse in Italian, so Topolino's Terrace up on top. You can meet Mickey, Minnie, Daisy, and Donald in their artistic best, we'll say.
Yeah,
up at
each
Topolino's
one is
Terrace.
representing an art form.
Okay, now you can give your rating. Now that we've given context.
My goodness.
Well, sometimes you don't give context and you just jump into your rating.
Well, you're confusing me. Are we talking about it first or are we rating it first?
Give me a rating!
All right. I'm going to go with 4.
Okay, now you can explain.
I'm waiting for you to tell me what I can and can't do. I am... Actually, can I change it? I'm going to do 4.5. So, I do that because you have a character dining. Mm-hmm. It's very good. Mm-hmm. We haven't done, but we are doing that our next trip. It is a must-do on our next trip.
Water.
We are doing it. Great reviews for that and views of like the fireworks after, if you have dinner there, all of that jazz. The quick service is really good. The bar food was really good. The quick service was like, I just feel like a little step up from like your regular stuff. And it had those Italian flares to it, which was really nice. Obviously, my favorite coffee shop is there. So there's that. But that 0.5 really...
Le Petit Café.
That 0.5 really came from the fact that you're right away from Epcot. And that has all kinds of food.
Also true.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I'd give it a 4. So you actually beat me on this one.
Ooh.
I know. Doesn't usually happen on these resort
Only because
reviews.
of Epcot, right?
Unless
there.
for whatever reason it is a value resort, and then Rachel's always higher than me on value resorts.
Because I feel bad for them.
Oh, I don't. But I'll give it a 4. There's not a ton, I think, which is why I would not give it a 5. What is there is very good, though. Very good coffee shop. They have good sweets, too, that you can get there at Le Petit Café. The counter service at Primo Piatto is delicious. Like, this is not your cheeseburgers and chicken nuggets.
That's what I meant by, like, different dishes.
It is elevated, and
real
they
food.
are tasty dishes. And they're relatively affordable, too.
Yeah.
And then Topolino's Terrace, I would argue, is probably one of the finest dining establishments in Walt Disney World right now, especially for character dining. I think that the bang for the buck and the views that you get from up there, if you time it right with fireworks and all that kind of stuff, I think that that is a awesome place to grab a meal. So I will give it a 4. The reason why I will not give it a 5, although I think that each one of those individual establishments is worthy of a 5 on its own. It's only 3 options.
Yeah.
We are missing the pool bar, too. But the pool bar is more or less...
I feel like that's more of like
very
your chicken
similar
nuggets.
To... Yeah,
like your regular quick service stuff.
Most of the stuff that you can get at the counter service, you can get to at the pool bar. So it's not like you're getting like...
anything extra.
Yeah.
It's like the same stuff.
So technically, I should rephrase that. There are 4 places where you can get food. But the pool bar is not, I don't think, offering that much that I'm going to count it as its own.
Like its own.
I think that there could be a little bit more for food options.
Yeah.
So I dock it a point. But everything there is very good.
Yes.
So
Agreed.
everything individually would be a 5. I just
Very much
dock
agreed.
it slightly because I would like maybe one more food option there.
Yeah.
One more restaurant or something there.
I could see that.
Anyways. Pools and amenities, our last category.
All right. I am going to give it a 4.
I agree. I'd give it a 4 too.
I give it a 4 because you have 2 different pool options. You have the kid focused more area where they have like the slide and the structure of like the sandcastle.
It's some I kind wouldn't call it like a sand cat, but a castle, some like, kind like of a castle. Turret. Like
yeah. There you go. So like with the theming, they have that over there, a separate, really pretty long pool. It's not very wide, but it's really long. I feel like so it's really spacious for like the amount of people. I never really felt crowded. Hot tubs were great. I think the landscape around the pools really feels elegant too. Like you just feel like you're in Europe with a palm tree, but in Florida. But the views also from the pool of Caribbean beach and the Skyliner and the water right there also is really, really nice. So I feel like the whole feel, the space, and like the layout of like kind of two different quieter options and then like a kids area is really nice.
I agree. I think that where I dock this hotel is that there are two pools. They're very close to each other. Yeah. And they are not the biggest pools.
No.
They are relatively big, but at the same time, if there was a lot of people in them, like, it would be kind of crowded.
Yeah.
Like, this is not overly spacious, even to the point of, like, a boardwalk or certainly not a beach club, but it is kind of more confined in smaller scale than that. So that is the reason why I would dock it, but I think that the pools themselves are beautiful. I also think that much like all DVC resort hotels, that there are other cool options and amenities and things to do around the hotel. So I think, again, a reason to stay at a DVC resort, even if you're not a DVC member, is that they tend to have more things because it is your home.
Right.
They tend to have more things that you can engage in.
Didn't they also have like a giant chess
They do.
They
have the bocce ball stuff, which I think was really kind of neat.
Like
stuff that you don't
game.
see at every hotel. Sometimes you see elements like that, but you don't see, I don't think, quite as much as. Like, it very much gave like that outdoorsy Riviera feel.
Yeah, it gave like a park feel.
Yeah,
almost.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of how I think that's a great way to describe it. Like it feels like it's a French or Italian like park.
Yeah. Yeah, some kind of like common area, like a public area, like, that kind of thing.
Like you see like old Italian men like playing bocce ball and like sipping their
wine.
What
is it with you and bocce ball, you keep saying?
I don't know, like I just see it. Like
I know.
You're on like the piazza, and there's
I also kind of like how it is like kind of circled
Geraldo
around.
Is over there on the piazza playing bocce ball.
I can't even
like
deal.
I don't know.
But yeah, there are other things to do, but much more laid back. And we've said that with a lot of the deluxe resorts and like DVC's resorts. It doesn't, obviously depending on the time of year and how many people are there, but it doesn't have that feel of like, I don't know, just like that hustle and bustle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's just much more relaxed. People are just kind of enjoying themselves. Like taking it in at the resort and not just like park hopping all day and then just like crashing. Like, this is a real resort where you can really soak it up.
Absolutely. And I think that, all things considered, like, the pools and amenities are definitely worthy of a higher end rank, and I think that 4 is the totally appropriate number to give them. This was also the place that I had a revelation when we were sitting at the pool and Goofy and Donald were up on the balcony.
Wait. Before you say this, they were up on the balcony because this was 2021. So there was still masking. There was still no like character meet and greets yet or anything like that. So you got a lot more character sightings than like meet and greets, just around the resorts and stuff. They would just kind of pop out, because obviously they weren't meeting. And I'll never forget your face. It was like complete shock.
This is on video too. Maybe we should post this video.
This is on video. Complete shock on his face when he realized that Goofy was waving to everybody and he took his hat off.
I did not know that Goofy could do that.
Can he do it all the time?
I don't know.
Was it just this time?
No idea.
I've never seen that before.
He took his hat off though. We all witnessed it. We have it on video. Amazing.
Yeah. Truly a sight to see.
I didn't think
Mark
that the
was
hat
like
came off his head.
starstruck. He was like, what? Goofy could take his hat off? That's literally what he said. But he was like very, very surprised by this.
Yes,
I was as well, but I also didn't notice it really until he had like a shocked look on his face. And then I was like, he's like, Goofy could take his hat off. And I was like, wow, that's news.
So let's tally these scores here. So for transportation and location, I gave it a 3.5, theming a 4.5, rooms a 5, food 4, pools and amenities 4. That is a total of a 21 divided by 5 means that my final score for the Riviera is a 4.2. 4.2. Rachel, transportation and location, she gave a 3.5, theming 3.5, rooms a 4, food 4.5, pools and amenities a 4. That is a total of 19.5 divided by 5. That is a 3.9. So I have a 4.2. Rachel has a 3.9. How do you feel about that?
I feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, I like my 4.2 better than your 3.9.
Yeah.
I feel like the Riviera should be above a 4.
Yeah.
Like definitely above a 4.
Yeah. What
You're
did
very
I
close,
jip on? I feel like I jipped
I think theming. You were a little like, yeah.
Yeah.
Theming in the rooms.
Like I might have jipped that a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know that you were fair. You know, I'll give you the theming. I think that the thing you really weren't fair on was the rooms. I think the rooms you should have given a 5 and not a 4.
I think the rooms,
but
yeah.
Regardless,
Anyways.
it is what it is. This is a great hotel. I think regardless of whether or not you're a DVC member or not, if you can swing it and stay at this hotel, you will not be disappointed. This is one of my favorite hotels. I won't say it's my favorite, but it is definitely in my top 3 Disney hotels that we've ever stayed at. So it is well worth, I think, a visit.
Yes.
It is one of our home resorts, too.
It is.
We own at the Riviera, and I am a very proud owner of Disney's Riviera Resort.
He is.
Well, folks, as always, we want to remind you to follow us on our social media accounts. Maybe we'll get those videos up on our social media accounts so you can see the room, and you can see my reaction to Goofy taking his hat off. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to send us an email at startswithawish.podcast@gmail.com. And remember, if you want to book your next Disney vacation and maybe stay at Disney's Riviera Resort, be sure to reach out to Rachel to book your next Walt Disney World trip or any other Disney destination, Disneyland Paris, Disney Cruise Lines, Alawani, any of those. Reach out to her by sending her an email at rmello@mickeytravels.com. That is rmello, 2 L's, no W, MELLO, at mickeytravels.com. And remember, folks, it all starts with a wish. We'll see you real soon.
Bye.